and brothers, tonight we are here at Live Listens, and tonight the segment is Poetry in Motion. I have my brother here in the arts, Michael Calloway, a longtime friend, colleague, and a good friend from Brooklyn, New York. I'm here tonight talking to him about his poetry writing, and what it takes to be a poet. And maybe he will enlighten us tonight and give some inspiration to other brothers and sisters, younger people in the generation, to follow their dreams. And tonight we're going to have Michael Calloway. Hey Mike, what's going on?
Thank you for having me today. Not too much going on, but I got some things going on.
I know you do. I know you do. You always have things in motion. That's what we're talking about tonight, things in motion. I know from experience, for me and you talking long nights, we both share some of the love and passion of art, broadcasting journalism, me with writing my book coming out, Mirage, and you also are sharing with me some of your intimate poetry that you have. And tonight we're going to talk about that. Maybe you can enlighten some brothers and sisters on what it is to be a poet and your inspiration behind your poetry.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as the inspiration, I guess it's just life. You know, life experiences, love, number one, God. Can't forget God.
That's right.
You know, ups and downs, whatever it is that life puts you through, you can actually put it on paper.
Mm-hmm. What about some of that? The good relationships. You got some good relationship stories for us?
Yeah, I have some good relationships, good friends. I could write about stuff like that. But for the most part, if something you're really going through, you can really express it. And those are some of my better poems. Because, you know, you could actually really express it. And a lot of other people can identify, you know, with what you're writing, because you went through it, and you're not the only person that goes through things. So somebody out there can identify with what you're actually writing. It takes a lot to be a good writer, I say. But a lot of times I didn't think I was good enough, you know, until I write that one and I have to read it over and over. And sometimes I read it and I can't believe I wrote it. So that's when I know I've done something good.
Well, let me ask you something. What about family? Does family play a big role in you and your poetry writing? How does family intertwine in that aspect of poetry writing for you?
Yeah, well, I think family plays a big role. You look at some comedians today. If it wasn't for the support of their family, some of the comedians, some of the writers, if it wasn't for some of the support, who does he act? Who do they act for?
Right. Or who do they imitate?
Or who do they imitate?
In their family, like
people
the drunk guy,
family,
yes, or the aunt,
you know,
that's
the grandmother,
crazy. Right.
or
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
it takes family. Family is like the main source, you know, of your creativity, because your family, you know, coming up and growing up, they make you who you are, and then the friends come in because you're in school, and then high school. It's all the people that you intertwine with. That's who make you who you are.
Right.
Believe it or not.
Did you come from a big family?
I came from a huge family. My mother had 10 kids.
Okay.
She has 10 kids. One of my brothers died. He was a twin. But my mother had 10 kids, 3 sets of twins.
Wow.
Believe it or not, back to back.
Wow.
2 twin girls, 2 twin boys, and then a boy and a girl, twins. 2 boys on the bottom and a boy and a girl on top. So
that's a strong black woman.
yeah,
that's a strong.
Yeah, we had a lot of good experiences growing up. You know, we didn't have the technology that these kids today have.
Right.
I mean, they got it made.
Yes,
they can, you know, instead of like, we had to find stuff to do. Mm-hmm. Like if my mother was gone, we would go down to the basement and take 2 sheets with a line and make a stage and all that.
And do a talent show type of thing.
Yeah, doing the talent show, and I mean, we had enough people with characters, you know. And my sisters would do the Pointer Sisters or, you know, the Temptations. I mean, we had fun. We had fun. But today, these kids, they really got it made. They could do so much so fast.
Right.
You know, we didn't have that opportunity, but we did what we could, what was available to us.
Right.
Not saying I'm that old now, but okay.
But you know what, like you was talking about, touching on the children of today, the technology. Sometimes that technology can be bad and it can be good. You know, the kids nowadays, they don't know. I don't think they have too many people to inspire by. There are some people, but this segment is to show that a lot of us speak through our talents. We do a lot of writing, we do a lot of poetry, we do a lot of films, we do broadcasting and journalism, we have a lot of DJs, and I'm doing this segment on poetry and motion to show people and the young youth today that you can be whatever you want to be. There's some hard work into it, but to give them inspiration that if you watch other people do it, you can do it too. And I think the logic to it, to me, is each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
And I want to know today, this evening, if maybe you can share some of your poetry with us, Mr. Calloway.
Yes.
Just maybe a little bit to give us an in-look or insight on what poetry means to you. And
well, I wasn't really prepared to say any poems because I'm working on something right now, and of course I don't want to disclose that right now.
Right.
For the most part, it's not published and it's not copyrighted, but I do have some that is copyrighted, and I could probably, you know, share that one with you.
Give us a little bit of that.
Okay.
For my listeners tonight.
I have one for you. This one, you know, every poem that I've ever written, I can go back to the same spot and the same thoughts that I had when I wrote.
And where you were in life at
And
that
where I
particular
was
time.
in life, yes. You know, there's nothing. Most of it's up here, but there was one that I had written, and it was called. I think I was like I was more into the Bible. I used to read the Bible a lot, and it's like sometimes, you know, when you think bad thoughts, you have the devil on one side and God on the other side.
Yes, I understand.
So basically, I used to think that the devil was like just the world, which he is,
Right.
and God was like my conscience,
Right.
because that's what's good. So, and your conscience is always gonna speak to you more.
Right.
If you have a conscience. Some people don't have it. But anyway, it was called The Conscience.
The conscience. And with that, we're going to be right back, listeners. And we're going to speak to Mr. Michael Calloway. And we're going to talk about the good and the bad and the conscience. We'll be right back. See you in a bit. People, we're back at Live Listens, and we are still here with Michael Calloway, the poet in motion. And like you promised, Jack, Michael, Jack, you was going to give us some of your poetry, a sample of your poetry tonight. And we're really looking forward to it. You don't have to indulge everything to us, but just give us a little example of some stuff that you're working on right now.
Yeah, I'm working on a few things right now as far as, you know, getting it out there. I do have one, like I was telling you about the conscience.
Right.
Like I said, when you're thinking bad thoughts, you always have that God talking to you on one side and the devil on the other side.
Yes.
So I call this one actually the conscience.
Yes.
And it goes something like this. Goes, I heard someone's talking, but I couldn't see the face. But from the words of this powerful discussion, somehow I knew I was in the right place. He spoke of many things of which I can relate. But then for a moment, I recognized the voice, but I just couldn't place the face. I sat back and listened to all that was being said. It seemed to me that I was being watched, and my mind, no doubt, being read. I took a quick look around to see what I could see. Then fell in a daze. I was shocked and amazed that there was no one with me but me. I thought to myself, am I insane, hearing voices I can't explain? I finally came to the conclusion, as simple as it might be, that this wonderful speaker of such beautiful words was my conscience speaking to me.
Wow, that's real deep. That's real
Thanks.
deep.
I wrote that a while ago.
And what inspires you to write that?
Like I said, I used to read the Bible and stuff like that, and you know, I know the difference from right and wrong just by reading the Bible.
Yes, we all do.
And there are people who's walking around in this world, they don't know what's the truth. So if you find out the truth, and then you hear other things like the devil, something you know is wrong, then you know what's the truth, so you
Right.
go with the truth. That's what pretty much got me to writing that poem. And I know exactly where I was at. I was actually interviewing for a job. They had a type of setting like this, like a little waiting room, and I was reading a magazine, and I saw some pictures, and it was actually a little story in there. And I don't know how it got me to write that poem, but that was my inspiration.
That's real cool. I hope you enjoyed Mike Calloway and his poetry, and I call this Poetry in Motion. And this is La Listens, and we'll be back with some more of Poetry in Motion with Michael Calloway.
You know that?
If I told you that I placed the world right in your